Hi, welcome to the Healthy Doubt blog on the Common Sense channel. Today's topic is complete knowledge. If you have complete knowledge of something, that means you know two things about that. You know all that is, and you know all that isn't. These two things together will make up complete knowledge. Now, how do you get complete knowledge? How do you start getting complete knowledge about something? You must have seen this image on the internet where something is there and on from one side it looks like a 6 and from the other side it looks like a 9. This image is about people looking at something from two different perspectives. And one of the processes we follow to get complete knowledge about something is exactly this. You have to take something and you have to turn it around. You have to look at it from a different perspective. Then you have to turn it again in a different way, look at it from yet another perspective, and so on. This is also told as a story in folklore where knowledge about something is thought to be like an elephant. And the process of getting that knowledge is, of course, about looking at an elephant. Now, what you see depends on where you are standing with relation to the elephant. The person who seeks knowledge is like a blind man. Blind man because obviously right now you don't know. So depending on which side of the elephant you're standing on, uh, what you feel over there is what your perception of the elephant becomes. So the person who is standing right at the front and is touching the tusk, they think the elephant is like a spear. The person who's touching the trunk of the elephant thinks it's like a snake. The person who's touching the leg is going to feel around something big and round. It's going to think it's like a tree. In that way, every person who is looking at the elephant, or sorry, not looking, but observing the elephant or perceiving the elephant, is is getting a different impression of what the elephant is. In this way, it is an extension of the same process that you have something and you are going on looking at it from different perspectives to see that it looks like this, it also looks like this, it can also look like this, and so on. And this is very much the practical way in which we get knowledge about anything. So, for example, let us say that you wanted to get knowledge about the human body. There are The straightforward way today would be that you enroll in a course called MBBS. Now, what will happen in MBBS? In MBBS, you will study different types of subjects. So, let us say you wanted knowledge about the cardiovascular system, the heart and blood vessels that supply blood to the body. So you will first study about the structure in anatomy, then you will study how it works in physiology. You will later study all the medicines that can affect it in pharmacology. You will study all the things that can go wrong in pathology. And you will study it later again in medicine that, oh, these are the various types of diseases that can affect the heart and blood vessels. What you're basically doing is you're studying different aspects of it. You're repeatedly turning it around. You're looking at it from different angles, from different perspectives. And then when you are when you put all those perspectives together, you have complete knowledge or a good knowledge of cardiovascular system. Does this now mean that you have absolute knowledge of cardiovascular system? Does it mean that you know absolutely everything, that you have exhausted all the perspectives possible, that these subjects which are taught in MBBS, are these the only ways to look at the cardiovascular system, or can there be still more? Of course, there can still be more ways to look at the heart. There can still be more ways to look at the nerves. There can still be more ways to look at healthcare. There are always going to be more ways because there are almost an unlimited number of perspectives that are possible. And but how do you test, how do you know that you have exhausted all the perspectives or that you have perfect knowledge about something now? Well, one way that we do this in science is by these two tests. So, one is called sensitivity and the other is called specificity. Now, sensitivity is a measure of true positives or that which surely is about certain thing. Specificity is a measure of true negatives or that which surely isn't. Now, what does this mean? That which surely is and that which surely isn't. Let us take an example, and this is a bad example, but okay, this is the example that comes to mind right now. Let us say that I want to say that smoking causes lung cancer. If I want to say that, sensitivity means that 100% of people who get lung cancer should have been smokers. Is that true? No, it isn't. Specificity means that everyone who is not a smoker should not get lung cancer. So, 100% of people who do not smoke should never get lung cancer. Is that true? Of course, that is also not true. In this way, sensitivity is that which is surely is, and specificity is that which surely isn't. And if both of these things are 100% for any condition, you have found an absolute truth in this universe. Now, does your knowledge of cardiovascular system or nerves or bones or anything else that we learn in medical science as part of modern medicine, how much of that is with 100% sensitivity and 100% specificity? How good are the medicines that we use, the treatments that we give for certain ailments? How accurate are they with 100% sensitivity and 100% specificity? And almost none of them are. You have to get this. Almost nothing is 100% sure. When nothing is 100% sure, all other perspectives, all other ways of looking at things remain valid. So, if you want to talk about absolute knowledge or complete knowledge in healthcare, all these other methods, alternative methods of healthcare are also valid. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be anti modern medicine. Where it works, it's very good. But there are areas where other things can work better. For example, if you need emergency treatment for something, something goes wrong, modern medicine is your best bet. For a lot of other things, like for example, mental sciences, yoga may be a much better bet. For certain other things like skin conditions, Ayurveda may be a good choice also. So everything has its own value and everything is a perspective that is still valid because we don't have 100% sensitivity and specificity. Modern medicine is the flavor of the times that we live in. In these years, 2000, year 2000 or so, this is the way to go. For most things, this should be your default. But where it does not work, you should employ other perspectives also. Will we ever get close to having complete knowledge of healthcare? Yes, maybe one day in the distant future, but that time is not now. There, there are a lot of gaps in the way we look at things. And one of the worst gaps that we have got now is a kind of activism that has affected many people, especially medical doctors. Imagine if the guy who's standing right behind the elephant and thinks it's like a rope was was to cancel out the other guys and say, no, this is the only way of looking at it. It's not going to be a wall, it's not a fan, it's not a snake or anything else, but it's just like a rope. That's what activism looks like. People who are activists are working on a different angle. They are not truly scientists. And one of the ways that they mislead you all the time is by this word. They have coined this word called pseudoscience. Just to be clear, it has never happened in the entire history of civilization that scientists of any era would have gotten together and decided, guys, let's make something that's kind of a scam, but we can out of it. That's what they mean when they say pseudoscience, that another system is pseudoscience. An older system may be less valid than modern medicine is today, and modern medicine may be less valid than gene therapy will be in the future. But there is no such thing as pseudoscience. That perspective, that way of understanding something, especially healthcare, may likely become valid again in the future, or may be less valid, but that perspective is always valid. So that's just what I wanted to make this video about. Until next time.